Right, how's it going, folks? It's Linda Builder here, and my video is all about what's my experience, what I'm seeing, and things like that, and the knowledge that I know. So today's particular video is something that is how can I say this? Gosh, I haven't made a video for a long time now. I'm so excited. So this video is all about the attachment theory. All right, the attachment in a relationship. Now, this particular friend that I know who used to get used to have a get married and then divorce due to because of him not being himself, trying to do the best as he can to fit in the square at the missus' eyes, and got rid of all his hobbies and everything in his life. So that's one of them, and he wasn't himself. Basically, that's what he's been telling me, and I really didn't want to put him as an example of making persuading on making this video, but I've always wanted to make this video, but I've never didn't have the motivator to talk about it until now. He's been telling me about it yesterday. He met this girl who came from similar hometown background as where he's from. He's from Croatia, and he found this girl, he could see deeper, and he's very hunger of the wanting her, and could see her and getting married or have kids, which is something that he never imagined when he sees a lot of girls. So, and then I said to him, why is that? Because and he just responded straight away, because she feed him. And I'm just there, I'm like, oh mate, you just want to be like a king, mate. You just want to be like, you just want to be, feel like a king, getting fed, and you just want, you want that traditional. Basically, you want a traditional mindset, a woman that you wanted, and which is something he never had before. And that is kind of similar to me. I always wanted a traditional one, traditional, and have a traditional mindset. Where we living right now is Victoria. Victoria is the most lefty state. Besides Canberra, is the most lefty state in Australia. So you can imagine what the women are like in Victoria. And he couldn't find a decent one or similar match or things like that until he find this girl. So I really didn't want to make this type of video, but I'll make it now. All right. The common theme about me and his my relationship and the one he's seeking is, the girls are like, I don't know much information on the other side, but I know the fact that mine is secured attachment, all right? And mine is anxious attachment, wanting to have love, wanting to be, there, wanting to be like basically like a baby. Basically, we want to cuddles and things like that. We're a lot more nurtured type, obedience and things like that, and which is a lot more happening in the Western world, and it's something got to do with the upbringing. And for example, if you guys don't quite understand this, then you have to understand order to attachment theory, Bowlby, Mary Maines, and now later on is becoming the relationship attachment. All right, and I have to give you guys this example, right? In the Western world, we chuck our kids to go to the kindergarten, preschool, and schooling. We chuck them at an early age. Institution, that's the word. And mum and dad doesn't have much attention or love toward, not much attention, because there's a lot of home duty, or perhaps the working, there's two breadwinners, unfortunately, in the Western world, if you want to keep a roof over your head. So you have that as well. So the attachment is not constantly secured, and it's always been 50-50, like it's been there. And especially I always figure out why the hell a lot of Western guys or Westerners, when they meet someone from a foreign country, obviously, they get so really, really attached and get really pussy whipped. And when I look into it, and I'm just there, I'm like, what is going on? Like, especially towards to the Asian exotic woman, right? And it's very, very strong to see that. And you get to see a lot of Australian or Western men are always married to Asia, Southeast Asian or Asian women. And because of the different qualities, traditional or mother figure or family figure or parenting hood figure, a lot more appealing and than those. And I never quite understood why. And the moment they touch on the foreign relationships, they tend, depending on the country, I'm only saying because the Southeast Asia, they don't chuck the kids straight away to childcare. So which is there's a form of secure bond with the parents, with the siblings as well. It's all got to do with the environment and the ecological system of the how they're brought up. But I get to see a lot of Westerners are falling for it, and don't get me wrong, I'm one of them. And something new, something really attachable. But when I see them dating a foreign woman, in comparison to a local woman or local Australian born or whatever, is a very different mixture. So of course it's different mindset, but I get to see those are a lot more attached, a lot more yearning to have that sort of attachment, on having that sort of, the security where majority of the Western kids being brought up is anxious or completely there's no attachment. All right, so you have that, and therefore this whole hookup scene and Tinder date scene or Grindr date scene, a lot of them are wanting to find a real love or perhaps a yearning to have more. Obviously, one night stands or things like that, it is fun. I haven't been through these apps, so I'm too ugly to get into that stage, but I can see that a lot of them who get really, really attached to this whole thing. And the West is a hookup culture, and they see, I'm pretty sure every single country has this similar format, but I would say large number in the Western world particularly are yearning for that sort of attachment, that sort of security. And I'm not saying, well, I'm pretty sure you guys are saying like, oh, well, duh, William, like, we all want a relationship, don't want to be lonely, this and that, or when they're in a relationship or when they have like a bit of taste of it, they just want more. And it's inside your impulse, your instant gratification is a lot stronger urge than ever than before. And when you have that brings out your impulse decision into making, doing this and doing that, because your attachment and their attachment is completely different. And yeah, so it's great to have this sort of, like, I know many of you guys reached this point have no idea what I'm talking about. It's all based on, like, different culture has different attachment on different how they raise their child. One of them is early on the childcare, or the other one is more, stable with the family, then entering to schooling or being raised by the siblings or things like that. But I could say this to you guys, people either make good choices or bad choices, or addicted to these sort of yawning, these sort of choices. Can be good and can be bad. But I'm just amazed what my friend told me about, she feeds me. I was there, I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, yes, we understand, like, if the feminists ever heard that's sexist, you're patriarchy, you wanted this sort of lifestyle. And I told him, like, you don't get to see that type of woman nowadays, man. No way, man. And lucky he finds someone that who recently arrived to Australia. And yeah, her attachment, her thinking, her mindset is very different. She's normal, basically. What I'm trying to say. You don't have to be a hardcore leftist, or you don't have to be a hardcore human rights, because at the end of the day, you don't know what's the borderline, what's good or what's bad. And if I say one word wrong, or if I say one word, they get triggered. A normal person shouldn't get triggered at all. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, 10 minutes.